Really, does it have to have a little counter down a second?
Okay, streaming health is good. That's all good.
How can you tell if people are watching?
Camera.
Just asking.
It should say. I might have to go to the actual page. Watching 0. And we are live. Are we live? We are live.
Are we? Are you sure?
Do you not see us?
I do see us.
So you want to start talking?
Oh, well, I guess so, because this is going to be recorded,
Yes.
huh? Okay, so this is our first episode of Grid Free Live, and what were we going to talk about? Just saying.
Well, first of all, we want to talk a little bit about some news, maybe. What's been going on?
Okay. Well, some things I read this week. I read that I believe it was Massachusetts. They have put in legislation, I guess, to recognize for certification for naturopaths. So I thought that was cool. They'll be joining 18 other states and Washington D.C.
What is a naturopath?
It's a doctor of naturopathy, which in naturopathy is, it's like natural healing. It's a doctor, but it's...
So you're like using natural plants and stuff?
Find just alternatives, and, it's not necessarily cut you up and give you a pill for thing right off the bat. What else? China apparently is dominating the renewables market in new investments and stuff. Thought that was interesting. They've more than doubled.
Have they?
Yeah, more than doubled what we have spent in 2015. So they look like they're going to dominate the renewables energy age. One of the things that I read was that they own 5 of the 6 largest solar manufacturing, and they are the largest wind manufacturer.
In China?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't we have, where was that article at here? That's
It's from the Financial Times.
Let's see, this is the article here that you're reading.
Yeah. I read some other articles too on it, but...
So there are $100 billion a year, it looks like.
Yeah.
Wow. You look at the chart here. This is $100 billion China. U.S. is second at about 45.
Yeah.
45 billion. And Japan is third, which that's really surprising considering they're such a small island.
Yeah. It's not bad. So what else is in the news in that realm of things? Tesla.
Yeah, they started their battery production early last week. They turned on their battery factory. But actually Tesla doesn't, they're in partnership with Panasonic. So Panasonic is in control of all the battery production.
Yeah, I think they're basically running the plant.
Yeah. They run the plant as far as the battery production because they have so much experience in it. They've been doing it for a number of years and they got it down. So it's kind of a partnership, and they just have a factory in the Gigafactory.
So that's pretty cool. So what's been going on out here in the off-grid world? Well, we spent the last 2 days shoveling snow. Boy, wasn't that fun. And the worst part is that the second day, yesterday, after we shoveled half the roof of snow, which was a lot of snow, our water level didn't go up at all. Not at all. We thought that was a bit weird. So we're gonna need to get in there and inspect it and see if we don't have a leak or something because,
Yeah, we could have had an issue with
yeah.
because we have gophers out here, and the way our cisterns are designed is basically just tires, round, 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 and then they're packed with mud and bentonite, and then there's a rubber coating that's spread on the inside, and that's what seals it. But what happens is it's possible that a gopher basically buried it, dug its way into there and got into there somehow and, caused a leak. Because they're not going to just leak on their own.
No.
I mean, if the ground settles, it will get cracks, possible. But this house is 20 years old and it's pretty much settled. And the cracks that were in there, I patched. I filled them with concrete, and then I put that rubber seal in there.
So
I don't know if
yeah.
the only thing I think is maybe a gopher got in there and dug a hole in there and it sprung a leak. I don't know. I have to get a ladder and get in there and check them, but I don't want to do it when it's real windy.
All I know is there's nothing worse than shoveling half a roof of snow, and I don't mean a little bit of snow, I mean a lot of snow. Simply to find out the water level did not go up. Oh my God. That was... I mean, I could barely move this morning. I was so sore. So I'm not too happy about that.
It was about, 12 inches of snow?
Oh, about 12 to 14 probably.
And we have to basically move it on the roof because our access to our cisterns are on the roof. So what we do is we take the snow, push it all the way down, and then we shove it all the way over, and then we shovel it into the cistern. So the reason why is so we don't lose any to evaporation.
Yeah, and that was interesting when we first decided, okay, how can we best get this snow so we don't lose it to evaporation? It was kind of funny because Charlie was coming up with all these things. We could put black plastic over the roof on top of the snow with some weights. That way it'll cause it to melt and
not evaporate.
I mean, just all this stuff. And
the wind
I mean,
basically said,
the wind
not a good
out
idea.
here is crazy. So that didn't work. And then we were scratching our heads trying to figure it out. And he was coming up, I can't remember what, some other cockamamie thing.
Well, another thing that I did was I decided, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll take water that runs out of our cistern, and I'll take the water hose and put it up there and let the water run, and it will melt the snow, and then it'll all go back in the cistern.
Oh, yes. Brilliant idea, too.
That.
But then, I had a thought.
Why don't we just shovel it in there? And I was like, well, that's a good idea. Why don't we just shovel it in?
And now I'm almost thinking I regret that thought because it's a lot of hard work. But we do get it without the wind blowing everything away.
And we normally wouldn't have to do this or worry about it, but our cisterns have gotten kind of low. We're about halfway now. So
It's been a dry summer.
It's been very dry, so it's kind of like, oh, we need the water. Otherwise, we have to pay $100 per 1,000 gallons for them to truck it out here and pump it in.
107.
107.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was funny. Now I'm regretting my brilliant idea. So that's been fun. When we get hit with snow, we get hit with snow, and it's a lot of snow.
Yeah, this is really the first big snow we've had this year.
Well,
so far.
Well, this season, this
season.
winter season. Yeah, in fact, we've only had one tiny little snow before that.
Yeah, we got about 6 inches a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and that was about it.
And 12 inches this last week. Was Thursday. And
so we did do a video on it. It's called Digging Out, in case you guys have or have not seen it. And we did that because we were asked what we do in our downtime on a snow day. Yeah, downtime.
that's pretty much that.
And that's what we do in our downtime on a snow day is But next year we will have snow boots.
Yeah, she's already signed up for snow boots,
I will not face another winter out here without snow boots.
which is fine. I mean, but we'll wait until spring comes and
When
they're on sale.
Yeah,
You
when
know.
we get a nice pair.
It's kind of like how we do things. Like when we buy clothes, we either buy them from Goodwill or we buy them on tax-free.
Oh, when we lived
Weekend.
in Texas, they had a tax-free weekend,
Yeah,
and
We buy
that's
all our
when we would buy
clothes.
all of our clothes, just because.
for the entire year. We would go that day and buy all of our clothes.
But they have a nice Goodwill north of here, so
Yeah, we have
not
a
where we
really
live.
nice-
Where we live is a small town. They don't have anything.
Well, we don't live in a small town. We live about 20 miles from a small town.
Yeah, but it's the biggest town in the area.
Yeah, in this
Well, I mean,
county.
within an
It's the
hour.
only city in this county.
Yeah, we have one
It's
city and two
Walsenburg.
towns in the county.
Right.
Small. So, but living so far out, there's some challenges to that, and there's also some benefits. We don't go out to eat very much because the town doesn't have anywhere to eat really. There's only a couple of places, but it's also so far. It's not worth the drive. I mean, so we cook a lot. Charlie's learning to cook. I cook breakfast. He cooks dinner.
And lunch. I cook lunch too. Unless she's here, and then she's my sandwich maker.
And the sandwich maker.
She makes my sandwiches.
So yeah, there's that. I don't know. What would you say the biggest difficulty living so far away from?
Well, I mean, we don't live out in the middle of nowhere. We're not like, antisocial or anything like that. It's really how we want to live. I mean, this is how we decided we want to live, and the way living in an Earthship the way we do would actually be illegal in the county we lived in Texas. It would be totally illegal. You can't do
Yeah.
it. I mean, there's laws against it. So it's kind of like, well, if we're going to live like this, we're going to have to go somewhere where we can actually do it. And this is where it ended up being.
Yeah, and it was a neat adventure getting here. We decided we had some property in Trinidad, which is about an hour south of here.
Yeah, we have property.
We still do. We are going to sell that, by the way.
Yeah, so if anybody
wants
is-
your remote off-grid adventure,
So if you're looking for a remote off-grid adventure, well, we
We
have
are.
some land that
we
we'll
have
be
35 acres we're going to
be
sell.
selling.
We were going to go there. We went there originally. We sold the house, quit the jobs, moved, just did it. We were going to go in a tent, live in a tent until we built a small place. And from there, a friend of ours had this old travel trailer he was just wanting to get rid of, and so we towed that up to our place. And we lived in that probably about 3 or 4 months until the worst of winter hit. And boy, did it hit. That winter, that was 2 years ago, it did nothing but snow. I swear to God, from November 10th onward, there was at least a foot and a half of snow on the ground. At least.
And we didn't have enough.
And we didn't have enough water storage, and getting
Yeah.
up and down when it's icy, that's a little tricky.
Yeah,
So
we would have got snowed. What would happen was we ended up getting snowed in, and we didn't have enough storage for
food or water
and water. So
So what we did was, it was I think a negative 11 degrees. We went, and it was New Year's, and we went down the mountain into town, and we found us an apartment. We thought, well, we'll just rent it for 3 months, get through the winter, and then we'll go back up. But the lady who was renting us the apartment, she's a realtor, and she asked us what we were doing. We told her about Earthships and all of that, and well, she just happened to find one for sale, and asked us if we wanted to go look at it. And we're like, sure, we didn't figure we would buy it, but nonetheless, we like to look at them. So we came out and looked at it. We got it for a steal of a cost, and it was beautiful and just the perfect size, and it just seemed meant to be. And so we bought it, and here we are. So we didn't have to build it ourselves. It does need some fixing.
and it's an older design.
It is an older design.
Earthship. So it's not as efficient
It's
as
not
the
as
new one.
efficient.
If it's a new one and you're having, building, definitely go with like the global model. That's
Separates
You can't beat
the the greenhouse from the inside of the house. That'll help hold your temperature. It does get a little chilly at 60 degrees, just because to me 60 degrees is chilly, so I would
Yeah, our
prefer
temperature
it
here in this Earthship will fluctuate from
about 60 to 90.
yeah, 60 to no, not,
90 if we're not home.
yeah, 90 if nobody's here and it's all closed up.
Yeah, 80 if it is.
80
if we're here.
is the absolute max. It gets hot, but last summer it didn't get that hot.
No. But we need to do some work. We need to reseal the doors. We need to reset the windows. That's a big deal, and that will help keep it warm in the winter. I think that's our biggest.
All the windows on the front of the house need to be pulled off and resealed and reset. And then the big glass panes, and I'm just gonna have to get a glass.
Yeah.
Somebody who works with glass and has the equipment to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be a job, but it does need to be done. And that'll help hold the temperature in the winter. So I guess the being cold, I don't like to be cold, and I think that's probably the worst part for me. And not having a hot water heater. Yeah, that's going to change too.
Yeah, our hot water situation is we use the solar, which works really good. I mean, we get 90% of the time, it's fine. It's the 10% that, if it's cloudy all day and if it's in the winter and it's cloudy all day, then you get lukewarm water. And
homie don't like to take a shower in lukewarm water.
Yeah, so it's like, the water may be like
especially when the air temperature is
75,
about
80 degrees.
And the air temperature is about 65. That's just
if it's cloudy, and then you're.
Because I do work. I work outside the home, and so I can't get my showers in the prime of the day when it's warmest, and so that's the main issue. So, but this place happens to be plumbed for a hot water heater, or a tankless system. So we're going to
put that in, and what we'll still utilize the sun. But what will happen is the sun will preheat the water, and then we will only have to heat the water from that temperature, which maybe not even have to heat it at all, to, a good temperature for our showers and stuff.
I guess another challenge is gardening. Gardening outside here is a thing. We have such ferocious winds, drought conditions. The growing season is short because, we could get snow through mid-May, and then it can start anywhere in October, usually early November, or at least freezing temperatures. So that makes gardening kind of rough. So, but with the Earthship design, we are doing quite a bit of gardening inside. We are going to focus this year, I think, try to focus a lot more on growing food.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, we did a little bit last year, and I'm setting up some new systems, getting things going. I'm going to be making videos and all of that stuff. But we're going to do a lot more gardening
and chickens.
In our other bed.
One of these days I'm going to talk him into chickens.
Yeah, she wants to do chickens.
I cook eggs every morning.
But see, as far as that goes, a lot of that is I start thinking, okay, well, if we get something like that, then all of a sudden we're tied in. We can't just leave.
See, I disagree. I mean,
well, we have nobody that would take care of the chickens.
We don't go for months on end. Chickens can handle themselves for a couple of days or even up to a week.
Okay, well.
I mean, you just put extra food and extra water out there, and
then what do you do with the eggs? They just build up?
They just build up till you get back, and then you get them. I mean, we did this when I was little. We would go to Alabama for a week or two. We would come back, and the chickens would be there.
Yeah. We have coyotes out here that, we have a lot of coyotes, and there's bears,
okay,
coyotes.
Well, so we might lose a chicken or two, but still. We eat eggs every day.
Well, they get in our coop. It's gonna be like, KFC. We got the family pack, right?
Well, you just
lose your whole flock.
You may, but I doubt it. I doubt you would lose a whole flock. Besides, the neighbors is like a smorgasbord.
I don't know, if I was a coyote and I got into there, I'd be like, oh, yeah, there's one there and one over there.
You build it to, withstand a coyote attack. We should at least try chickens.
Yeah, I mean, we could do electric fence or something like that,
Yeah,
We'll see.
I mean, what off-grid does not have chickens? I mean, come on.
That's
It's
true.
like a staple of off-grid.
That's true.
It's one of the main reasons I wanted to move from Texas. Where we live, we could have chickens, and now you can. Go figure. Now you can have chickens in your backyard.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Just no roosters?
Yeah.
So would we get a rooster?
Yes.
We would have one rooster?
You would have one rooster.
And would you want to raise chickens? Like,
I would want to do chickens for us. Shit. The roof is leaking. Our roof leaks. I would want to raise chickens for us, for eggs, and then when they stop laying,
and you would do that too?
we would do that.
We, huh? I know we. Yeah, we. We, me.
Well, I don't know if I would be able to kill it. I mean,
Well, you'd have to witness it.
we would be raising and taking care of elderly chickens.
Be taking the vet, getting their
a
shots.
geriatric chicken farm.
God.
Uh,
See, this is why I'm thinking, I don't know about chickens. Because, she's like, well, Because I'm like, we could get a pig, grow it. I mean, we have plenty of land. So we could have a pig and feed it out,
If I couldn't handle killing a chicken, I really couldn't.
We wouldn't kill
killing
it. You take it to a processor. A processor does all that.
You want to talk about being stuck here more? A pig is a lot harder than a chicken.
Exactly.
Chickens are not as big of a deal.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like.
Chickens aren't as big of a deal.
And if you want to go places,
chickens aren't that big of a deal.
You end up getting stuck here.
With a pig.
We could take the pig with us. Put it in the back of the truck. I don't know. So anyway, we haven't really decided as far as farm animal type or anything.
I've decided
she wants chickens, but
5 or 6 chickens would give us enough eggs.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't have to. We don't have to have a chicken farm.
Because they're like $4 a dozen now. Yeah. So that's what they cost out here is like $4 a dozen for eggs.
I mean, it's not the cheap eggs, but the ones that I buy.
No, the organic eggs. I can't even eat the cheap eggs anymore.
I can't either. So that would save us some money, and it would be better because just 5 or 6 chickens. How hard is it to keep up with 5 or 6 chickens?
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Chickens.
Anyway, that's one of our ongoing discussions.
Well, it won't be ongoing after this summer, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is we want to get things kind of settled down. Really, as far as the house goes, I wanted to live here and know exactly what it was like, how much water we get through the year, for a couple of years before I really start playing with things too much. Because I don't want to go off and assume something and it not be true and then just, cause more of a mess, not worth it,
And one of the things we get a lot of comments about on our videos is the wind. And yes, the wind is ferocious out here.
But it's gusty.
It's gusty. Oh my God. And it's all day and all night.
But it isn't all the time. I mean,
but not all the time.
It's
mainly spring, winter, and fall. Just 3 seasons out of the year.
There is really no constant breeze,
No.
In most places, you get this constant breeze. But we're just on one side of a mountain, so all the air comes off that mountain, and it's just,
And it is, I mean, we do have a wind turbine. A lot of people ask us that. We do have one, and I alternate between fearing it's going to be blown off the roof and hoping it gets blown off the roof. It is placed right above the skylight in our bedroom, and half the time at night, Charlie just has to turn it off because it's just screams.
Yeah, I'll turn it off whenever it's.
I I don't really think we get enough energy from it, personally, because the way the wind is,
Well,
it's not steady.
that turbine, the design of that turbine is, I think it's like a Southwest, or what was.
I don't think it's meant for this kind of.
No, no. What the deal with it has such the curve, the power curve on it, is it has to be at a certain RPM. Otherwise, you get no power really. I mean, the power curve on it sucks really bad, and that's just the design of the turbine. It's a older design, and it's a DC, so it has to spin it at a certain RPM to get a good current through. Otherwise, it doesn't get nothing. So what happens is as the wind gust, it goes through that power curve and just,
Yeah.
all the time, and it doesn't really stay steady at that power curve. So your amps, you go up real high and then nothing, up real high and then nothing, up real high and then nothing. So it's just I would like to experiment with maybe, like, since we have such gusty winds, maybe a vertical turbine would work better than the horizontal, the prop or just your normal turbine design. The vertical turbine is a different design, but I would like to maybe look into that, see if we can come up with something as far as that goes. But all we need is 4 more panels. If we get 4 more solar panels, which what I plan on doing, we don't have to worry about wind anyway, because I can already go 4 days.
Yeah.
Without
we don't use a lot of electricity. That brings up another article I read. It was about the science of living off grid, and it goes through how to solar and wind and water and all that sort of stuff. And then once you get off grid, this article talks about you have to change your lifestyle. You want to make sure you unplug that, or you don't use your microwave while you got that hair dryer going. And then it goes on to say, and if you're going to fire up that blender, be sure to unplug that space heater. I was like, a space heater? Who off-grid uses a space heater?
That's like the Antichrist.
Oh my God, it's like, I get microwave, hair dryers, all that, but
yeah, you don't just pull 1,500 watts.
Who uses a space heater off-grid?
All day.
Maybe there's some people out there. Is there anybody out there that uses a space heater off-grid? Let us know.
And if so,
sure
you have a hell of a battery bank.
Yeah, you do.
And you have a lot of solar panels.
Kudos to you.
But like what our energy use here is we only use 3 kilowatts of energy per day.
Yeah, we don't have a microwave. I don't use a hair dryer or curling irons or anything like that. I guess our main, we have the refrigerator, the lights, the computers. I do have a blender and a mixer and that sort of stuff, juicer.
But really, even if you did use that, like a hair dryer, that's fine. You can use it because you only use it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So you only use it for maybe 5 minutes at the most. It just depends on how high maintenance your wife is, or your girlfriend, or whoever, or
obviously he has no idea.
If I got in there with the hair dryer, I'd be like all day,
Yeah.
really getting fixed up.
If I tried to blow dry my hair, it would take more than 5 minutes.
Okay, maybe it would. See, these things I don't know. I have no experience in that.
I sold those things when we sold the house and most of everything we owned when we started.
Yeah,
this
what all
adventure.
was it that I banned from? What was it? Something
Everything
you wanted
you
to
don't
keep?
use.
No, there was something you wanted to keep, and I was like, no.
I don't know. Usually, if it's something you don't use, you ban it. Hair dryer, curling irons.
Was it curling irons?
Curlers.
The microwave, I was kind of like, I don't think so. Well, actually, I think we could do a microwave fine because you only use it for a minute. If you're heating something up 1 minute.
I'm okay with the microwave, but we don't have space for it.
We're not cooking a baked potato in a microwave.
We don't have the space for the microwave. That's one thing about this house is there's not a lot of counter space in the kitchen. So most of my appliances, small appliances, have to stay in the root cellar. So, well...
Yeah, we have a root cellar. So the root cellar, we keep all of our food and stuff in, canned goods and stuff like that. And we kind of got
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of like my kitchen 2.0. It's I keep we keep all the canned goods. We keep a lot of any of the extra food. We have a pantry in the house, but anything extra because I try to buy extra stuff on sale. All the dry goods, the paper goods, all that sort of stuff. I keep the small appliances out there. We store extra light bulbs out there. All sorts of
Yeah,
stuff
we
store out
we
there.
really utilize that. A root cellar is really
It's
really
awesome.
an awesome thing to have because it stays cool. It's almost like a refrigerator. You can just keep whatever you want in there, and you don't have to worry about anything going bad necessarily. So we keep all of our stuff out there in the root cellar, and we just have to go out there and get it. Candles.
Matches, got a lifetime supply of that stuff. It was left over. Because when we bought this house, when we bought this house, it was as is. The toothbrush was still on the bathroom counter. The playing cards was still on the table. Everything. The root cellar was full of canned goods, which we didn't keep.
Yeah.
But we did wash and sterilize the jars and kept those. I mean, a lifetime supply of matches and candles and all of our furniture.
Yeah.
Everything was still here.
Because when we moved from Texas, we didn't have.
We planned on a much smaller place.
Yeah, we were going to build a much smaller. It was going to still be an Earthship, but it was going to be much smaller. Which I really think it would have worked out great. The only thing was with water. I don't think we would have been able to catch enough water. I know we wouldn't have been able to catch enough water to actually make it feasible.
No.
We would have had to figure something else out as far as water goes. But when we left Texas, we were thinking, okay, we're gonna have to sell everything. So that's exactly what we did. All of our furniture, everything we sold. The only thing we kept was the TV. We had a new flat screen TV. We kept that, and we kept.
Well, we kept our electronics, the computer.
Yeah, well, of course, we kept some of our electronics and stuff, computers and stuff like that. We keep, but
photos and mementos.
But we sold washer and dryer, tables.
I kept my pans. I kept my pans.
We sold chairs.
Yeah, we sold mainly all of the furniture.
Except for one love seat we kept. We had a love seat. We kept that. It's still in storage. We haven't got it
Yeah,
out.
because this one had one, so we're using it.
So yeah, so I get rid of all that, and then all of a sudden
We inherit.
buy this, and we inherit.
And we took
all of
truckloads
this
of stuff out of here when we were first bought it and we're cleaning it.
Yeah, when we first got it, like I said, it was completely furnished. Everything was in here.
We took truckloads of stuff out
And
of
we're like going through their stuff, and it's like, a lot of it, some of it was private stuff. It's just like, well, I don't understand
But,
why
we
they
learned about the
leave it.
people who lived here, or they actually never lived here, but it was a vacation home for them, and a lot of good vibes, good people,
Yeah.
happy times, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've hit our 30-minute mark.
Oh,
Are you want to keep going, or?
we can go as long as you want to go.
Well, I mean, we're thinking about doing this every week, so we'll see. So I guess we should cap it there. So
Okay,
We'll
well,
be
let's
back.
let's sum up on the house. Let's sum this up.
Okay.
So
What are we summing?
we're summing it up.
Okay.
Start summing.
So we're really happy. We kind of feel like this whole place was. I mean,
It was like meant
if
to
you
be.
ever believe in things that are meant to be, I think the decision 20 years ago to build this house was meant for us. There is some punched tin plates that they use decoratively, and one of them has the year we were married. So it's if anything was meant to be, how we just it's one of those things. Take a step, a leap of faith, and everything just snowballs from there. But you have to be willing to take that step forward.
Yeah, if you want things to change really quick, this is the key to it. What you do is you sell everything you own, you get a tent, and you go out in the middle of nowhere, and you sit there in this tent, and I guarantee you things are going to change.
Because things rapidly changed as soon as we did that. I mean, just
as soon as we jumped off the cliff,
everything just, the bouncy house below us just materialized. And so, yeah, it was kind of meant to be. Just, I love the house. It needs some work, but, we're getting there as time and money permits. But this year, I think we're going to focus on trying to grow more food. And we will.
Let's answer some
Let's
questions
answer
here.
some questions here. How do I do this?
Wood stove.
Wood stove. Where do I
No,
type?
you don't have to type.
Oh,
Just-
I
you
don't.
Just talk.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. He's Mr. Technology. I'm not. Okay, so wood stove. We don't. We have this fireplace in the background. As you can see, it is completely useless. It's beautiful. Really cool to look at, but it is. There's no heat that comes out of it. You just no matter how, it just doesn't work. I am a fan of wood stoves. When I was a little girl, we had a wood stove, and I have so many fond memories. I've always wanted to have a wood stove after that. But they aren't as efficient. Charlie is wanting to build a rocket stove, so we're going to take that thing out. Because the only way to do a rocket stove would be to get rid of that, because it's just, there's just no way we're going to retrofit it. So we either take it out and build in a rocket stove and then, make it look pretty.
Yeah.
Because pretty is important.
Right.
Or, maybe, or a wood stove. But I think the rocket stove is more efficient, which would be better and less use of wood. So, for that reason, I would be willing to entertain the rocket stove instead of a wood stove. So yeah, because that's just, it's awesome looking, but it doesn't do anything. Nothing.
Okay, another question we have is, what do we use for internet?
I will let you answer that since you're Mr. Technology, and I use him for the internet.
Okay, so at first I was going, whenever we were south of here in our other property, I was just going to use 4G, and I could only use 30 gigs a month. I mean, that was our plan. And it was like $300 a month. That's what it was going to cost. But that was the only choice. Going back to how things just kind of work out. Well, when we found this place, the neighbor happened to show up, and I was talking to them, and I asked them about internet and stuff like that, and they said, yes, there is an internet provider. So, yes, we do have internet here, and it is high speed, and it is point-to-point. It's a point-to-point wireless. So as long as we're in sight of that next tower, we just have a little receiver, and it goes right to there and goes on. So yes, we have.
And we've only had one time when it wasn't working, even with all the high winds that we have and everything, and that was when a pole got knocked down in town, and the entire town was out. So
we've actually had better luck with our internet living out in the middle of nowhere than we did when we lived in town and had cable internet.
Suddenly disconnect.
Yeah, we used to call it suddenly disconnect because it was awful all the time.
Awful.
But,
so yeah, that's we have a completely modern as far as internet and technology, that sort of stuff goes. We don't suffer.
Yeah,
we don't have to drive into town and sit at
now
McDonald's.
we cannot get TV.
Yeah, we don't have TV, but we don't care.
We could get satellite if we put in a satellite dish, but as far as over-the-air TV, there are these dikes behind us, and it's like all the TV stations are north of here, and the dikes are between us, and there's no way. I mean, I actually hooked up a antenna just to see if we get anything, and we got like fuzzy
one channel. But we don't really care about that.
Yeah, we use internet is our TV.
Yeah.
I mean, we watch
Amazon. And there's also, in town there's Redbox.
Yeah, we can also
And
do
believe
Redbox.
it or not, Redbox has movies out, and they are cheaper than Amazon. So when it comes, if we want to rent something that's not on Prime, and so it's going to cost us, and it's a new release, we just use Redbox because it's so much cheaper than Amazon is. So what else is there?
Another question.
How do you make money? No, how do you make money?
Okay, how do we make money out there?
Let's see. I work in town, so I do have to drive to town every day. That's the main income that we have right now.
That's our main income is what her does. But I do web development.
Charlie does web development, and that brings in income also.
Yeah, I have some clients that I still have, and
I make pine needle baskets and sell them. But mainly, it's I work in town.
We kind of wing it, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're winging it.
really, that's when we really started this channel. It's because we're wanting to build this channel up so we can make income from
It'll help
this channel.
supplement our income,
You know.
and also share with the off-grid community. That's also
Right.
important. But
Right.
yeah, right now our main income is me working in town and him doing some web development stuff. And because we don't really have any real bills, it suffices. It works. So let's see what's next. Where are you located? We are located in southern Colorado, south of Denver, south of Colorado Springs. We're actually closer to the New Mexico border.
Right.
I am running Cisco as my fireplace, and they are super clean burning.
Synthetic.
Synthetic. Oh. No, Siskiyou?
Siskiyou?
I'm
Huh.
running Siskiyou. Well, it's not really about the clean burning or not. Although that would be great, I guess, if we were going to run the fireplace. The thing is while that fireplace looks like it's pretty good size, the walls are almost the little door. That's pretty much the size of the inside. They're very thick. And frankly, we've burned it, and you just don't feel anything. You have to have such a small fire that
they didn't build it. You see, the problem is with this fireplace is they didn't put a damper in it, so there's no damper. So all the heat goes straight up.
And you can't have a very big fire to begin with. So it's not even as a fireplace. It's just not a very efficient. It's pretty. It could give you a nice ambiance, but if you're trying to use it to heat, no.
Yeah, it needs like I said, it needs a damper in it to really help it to solve any of the problems. It really needs a damper.
Yeah.
So I would rather, build like this built-in bench on the back wall there, and with a rocket stove system to help finish that off. I mean, because like I said, we only need to heat this house from 60 degrees.
Yeah,
so that's our low point is 60 degrees. So we'll be heating. We would both prefer about 70 degrees. I mean, that's just how we like our temperature. So when we're in the house, we wear jackets and stuff because we prefer 70 degrees. We're both from Texas. So
we haven't quite acclimated to the cold weather.
Yeah, not really yet.
And so because that's just more of a pretty fireplace versus a functional fireplace, if we're going to redo it, might as well just tear it out and redo it. And again, we will make it pretty again. It's just, there's no way we could retrofit it without destroying it anyway. So, and it's just not functional. I mean, I like things to be pretty, but I also want them to be functional. So nice. You have internet. Are you using a Kodi device for TV? I don't know what a Kodi device is.
No, I haven't. I mean, I understand there's options out there, but really and truly, since I haven't watched TV for 2 or 3 years now, it's like when I do see TV, all I see is commercials.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's not worth it.
It's just not something.
It's a
we
waste
miss
of
at
time.
all.
Watching a commercial comes on, it's like it's a waste.
And it's not like we can't watch TV shows. Eventually, they end up on Amazon Prime, and we can watch them, and we don't have commercials, or it's just.
Now, as far as that goes, for a lot of people, that would be kind of there are devices we could do so we could watch sports, because a lot of people like to watch sports. I would love to be watching NASCAR, but I can't because we don't have TV. So, and I don't understand why, but they don't stream. NASCAR doesn't stream anything.
I mean, I guess if we wanted to watch TV, there was something you could do.
Yeah. There are like Sling TV and
it's just not something we've put any thought into.
But see, we do have a TV. It's not like we're just on a computer.
No, we do actually have a TV.
And so I can stream to the TV. So I just set it. Whatever we're gonna watch, I can either. Well, actually, this TV doesn't have Wi-Fi connection, so I have to actually use the computer, and I stream to the TV, and that's how we watch our shows and stuff.
And we have a PlayStation, and it runs Blu-ray or regular DVDs, so that's what we use to watch any DVDs.
Yeah, if we do. But like I said, we have some DVDs, and we'll watch them. We also have a few Blu-ray, but we mostly just watch
stream.
Amazon
Yeah.
or Hulu or Netflix, something like that.
Yeah.
That's how we do that. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? I think that's about it on the questions.
Okay, well, I guess if that's it, it's already been 44 minutes. We were only planning on doing a half an hour, so I guess we will conclude this week's Grid Free Live.
We'll conclude this. I'll look at it and see how this kind of worked out. See if it's going to work.
Yeah, and if you liked it, give us some positive feedback. If there's something we can improve, by all means, give us feedback on that too. We were thinking about doing it like once a week. We'll be, featuring things in the news. Because for us, for our part of our grid-free experience is also about alternative energy, alternative health, alternative, green technologies. We're going to try to feature other places that are off-grid, people that we know and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not just, surviving off the land. It's, it's about just choosing to live a different way, and green technology and alternative health and nutrition and all that stuff is part of it, I think, for us. Everybody defines it differently, but that's probably our definition.
So if you haven't, please subscribe. And like I said, we'll be trying to do this once a week.
We're kind of winging it.
We'll just kind of wing it. See how it works out.
Or as my friend used to laugh at me, I can wing things.
I can wing things.